Hey guys, I'm Jess with Baker Baking Company, and this is Nick with Baker Baking Company.
I will be the bread holding assistant.
And today we're going to show you guys how to make the Baker's Wonder Bread. You can find it on the recipe on the back of every package of Elevate protein flour. This loaf has 156 grams of protein, 760 calories for the whole thing, and each slice is just about a gram or two of net carbs. So let's do it.
Let's start baking.
Woo! So here's a bag of the Elevate protein flour. Here are all the ingredients that we're gonna need. 3 cups of flour, 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of warm water. Gotta make sure the water's warm because that's the way the yeast likes it. 1 teaspoon of yeast. Would recommend instant yeast for a quicker rise. And we're also gonna need 2 teaspoons of sugar. If you're watching your carbs, don't worry too much about this added sugar. The yeast will actually consume most, if not all of it, during the fermentation process. 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil that we're gonna use just to coat the dough. First, we're gonna weigh out the dry ingredients in our bowl. So we're doing 3 cups of Elevate, so that's 360 grams. Definitely recommend using a scale here if you have one. Next, we're gonna add the sugar, salt, the yeast. Give this a nice whisk and mix all the dry together. Should be good.
And we're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of water.
Now this next part is important. I've seen people just immediately start to try and knead this dough. You do want to go in there with your hands first and make kind of a clumpy dough ball. A yeasted recipe with Elevate, I always recommend using a KitchenAid with a dough hook. It's pretty hard to knead it by hand, just like regular flour. All right, so that's all we need. Next, we're gonna put this into the KitchenAid to start kneading. Okay, so we've got our giant hunk of protein here. Okay, so we're gonna knead this on medium to medium high speed for up to 10 minutes. Okay, so it's only been about 3 minutes, but I want to show you guys what the dough looks like when it's not quite ready yet. What we want is to be able to stretch it out and not see some of these webs that you can see like right there. We want to minimize those, so it's actually stretching pretty well. We still want to let it go a little bit more until the dough is nice and smooth and you can sort of start to see through it once you start pulling it apart. So I'm going to put it back in. It's been about 3 minutes for about 7 more, and we'll check back in. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. Look at that. See how smooth it is? We stretch it. You don't see those webs anymore. So that's what we want. So we have our dough here. A lot of people will put it on a lightly floured surface. I don't, just because I want to make sure that we're close to the macros that we're promising on. All right. And so now we're going to add just 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil to coat this dough. The reason we're doing this is, 1, because it gives that kind of nice brown crust on bread that we all love. And 2, it helps preserve the moisture inside the dough for when it's proofing. We don't want it to dry out. So now we're gonna shape it. You can shape it however you want. We're gonna make kind of a sandwich loaf today. So we're gonna roll it into a log, I guess we'll call it.
But at the end of the day, is your recipe, so you can roll it out whatever your heart desires.
You can use this recipe for bread rolls too, if you just want to break the dough up into smaller pieces.
You could also make maybe a baguette.
Comment below if you want us to make baguettes. So we are gonna proof this just right here on the table. We're gonna cover it with some plastic wrap. The key here is to wait until it's about doubled in size. You don't wanna do any more than that. This dough will expand up to 3, even 4 times in size if you let it go far enough. So we don't wanna do that. I would say max 2 hours proofing. You're probably good with just an hour to an hour and a half. So we're gonna check back in about an hour.
See you guys then.
All right guys, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. Let's take a look at our dough. You can see it's just about doubled in size. So I'm just gonna throw it right into our bread tin. like that. And then we're gonna bake this at 375 for about 45 minutes. Ooh, that's good. It tastes like bread, guys. I don't really know how else to put it. It's a little bit denser, I will say, than traditional bread. And it has a little bit of a wheatier taste, kind of more like a whole wheat bread.
Now you can just eat your bread and don't have to worry about intaking unnecessary carbs and calories.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also getting your protein in. What more could you want from bread?
If we calculate the macros per slice, each slice is going to be an inch thick, let's say, and that's going to be 60 calories and 12 grams of protein.
12 grams of protein per slice.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Why would you eat a protein bar when you can just eat this slice of bread, guys? Come on.
You can't beat that.
Can't beat it. Thank you guys for watching our first video.
Yeah.
We're going to start a series. We're going to make a lot more recipes. Keep the feedback coming, guys.
And we'll see you on the next one.